All right, we're gonna try this again. Take two. Man, sorry about that, guys. If anyone, for those of you that were around for the first little snippet, had some technical difficulties, had to stop the stream and fix some stuff. Um, just want to make sure that the video, video quality is there and it's not very choppy and it's all buffering and whatnot. But yeah. So welcome everyone. Welcome back for those who know what happened earlier. Yeah, Heavy Metal Hotep back with another video for you guys. And like I said in the previous video, hope everybody's doing well, having a peaceful, prosperous, and productive day. And make sure that you guys, on your way in, you subscribe, like, and share. Make sure that you guys subscribe because, really trying to make sure that I get to, a certain amount of subscribers. I would say by the end of the year, be nice to hit maybe 2,000, 3,000. I think that's reasonable. But yeah, especially if you guys like the content, I've been talking to you guys in person. You guys have been saying that you do enjoy the content, so obviously I'm going to keep creating it for you guys. But yeah, if you guys enjoy it, make sure that you like, share. A certain video you guys see, there might be a video you think that someone might needs to see or listen to. Make sure that you share it with them, and again, make sure that you're subscribed so that way you do get notifications, and make sure you click that bell. So that way you guys do get notifications when I do go live, when I do post videos, because it's not just live streams that I do. I also do album reviews, and you guys can actually check that out on my channel. There is, a video of some lesser known artists that I did reviewing their music. And listen, if you guys are into metal or just want to check out some new music, broaden your horizons, I got to tell you, there's some really good artists on the CDs that on the CD that I reviewed. But yeah, so getting right into it, accountability, right? So accountability is important when you're thinking about what are the next, like what are maybe some steps that you took or some things that you did that probably knocked you off your path to achieving your goal or whatever that thing is that you want to get out of life, right? And by the way, that was what last week's episode was about. But essentially, what you want to do is you want to honestly just be real with yourself, right? You want to make sure that you, even if it's uncomfortable, whether you like it or not, you want to make sure that you are being completely honest with yourself. You want to make sure that you are essentially holding yourself accountable. I mean, accountability is kind of self-explanatory, right? Like you want to make sure that you're holding yourself to an honest and a higher standard, right? I mean, you're only going to make things harder for yourself if you blame things that you cause yourself, you blame everybody but you, right? And dealing with the consequences of your actions, right? When you don't hold yourself accountable, it makes, especially negative consequences, it makes dealing with those like 10 times worse. I mean, at least when you do hold yourself accountable, you make sure that you understand why you're in this predicament, why you're in this situation. You make sure you're not like, there's no surprises when the consequences of your actions do come up. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely important to make sure that you're being honest with yourself, and even if it's uncomfortable, right? Like that's one of the biggest things I would say about holding yourself accountable is like, that's one of the biggest things that can make you not want to do it is the fact that it is very uncomfortable. I mean, from personal experience, like I got to be honest with y'all, like, sometimes depending on how large the situation is, for whatever it is that, you might have caused, depending on how large that situation is or how, serious it is, it might be even more uncomfortable and you might not like it even more to just be like, yeah, you know what? I did that. You feel me? Like, you might know in your mind, like, yeah, I did it, but like to admit it to yourself and to understand it, you know, I would say is like it's a whole different thing. At the end of the day, you're going to want to tell yourself, nah, this was that person over there. Nah, that situation just happened and it had nothing to do with me. You want to absolve yourself of all criticism and of all blame. And at the end of the day, I mean, let's be honest here. If you know in your mind that you caused or you did something to someone, right? Maybe that you shouldn't have done, like, I don't know, you stole something, right? If you're not willing to hold yourself accountable, I mean, it's no brainer that's just going to hold you back, right? Like you're going to really just be a detriment to yourself, not just others, but to yourself. Because I mean, you gotta understand, like, it's not going to be something that you're going to not necessarily enjoy doing. Like it doesn't feel good when you mess up or when you do something bad or do something that, is messed up to someone else or to yourself or whatever. To admit that, it doesn't feel good and it can be very hard, but the only way to get around that is you just have to keep working on it and keep working on it. Well, I promise you, the more you work on it, the more it will become easier. It will become easier and easier as you continue to work on it. You just have to put in the work. And, most people aren't willing to do that. But I truly believe that if you start, right? If you start and you continue, again, be honest with yourself. You're honestly trying. You're not just saying that to make yourself feel good. You are trying, and you're going to be seeing results and seeing progress, and it will become easier and easier to do. I mean, real talk, like, if it's something, let's say something like really bad that you did, like, I don't know, like you really hurt somebody, right? Like, or you took something that's very important to them, you took a lot of money from them, something like that. Like, you have to understand that you were wrong in that situation, but not only that, like, to even get to that point, again, you got to hold yourself accountable. You might not want to, like, admit that you were wrong in that situation. That was something that you shouldn't have done. It's not going to feel good, but at the end of the day, regardless if it feels good or not, what actually happened? What did you actually do? Did you do it? Did you accidentally do it? Whatever. Are you the cause of it? If so, you gotta take that out. You gotta take that lesson and that loss. Really, you gotta understand that you are the cause of that. Hold yourself accountable and deal with the consequences. And if you can, fix it. If not, then you just gotta deal with the consequences. But before you can even get to that step, you have to first make sure that you're willing to be honest with yourself. Regardless, throw that shit out the window that if it doesn't feel good and deep down inside you don't like it and it's causing you to kind of lean towards not holding yourself accountable. Throw that out the window, because it doesn't matter if it feels good or not. You did what you did, or you didn't do what you didn't do, or you accidentally did what you did, or you stole what you stole, whatever the case may be, from serious to something you might consider small, whatever situation it is, whatever is missing, whatever added stress came on, if you did it or you caused it, the only way to really move forward is to understand that, obviously you're human and you make mistakes. Take that as a lesson, so that way you can just continue to move forward. So I would say, to wrap all that up in a nice little bow, just be honest with yourself. Fuck it if it doesn't feel good. Because real is real. What happened, or what didn't happen, happened. And if that's the reality of the situation, the responsibility and the accountability on you. It's on you to make sure that you understand what the reality is. And then you could take it from there and use that information to help you not do it again and to maybe even turn it around if you can. Bars. So, yeah, man, looks like I pretty much went through all my notes without even really looking at them. I mean, yeah. Another thing I want to touch on as far as accountability. You gotta remember, you're the one living your own life. So you're in your own shoes when it comes to the consequences you have to deal with for whatever thing you did, whatever thing you messed up on, or whatever you didn't do. At the end of the day, I mean, you gotta understand, you are the person that is living your life. So anything that comes your way, something that you cause, you are in your life and you're living, you are one of the points of your actions or inactions. So whatever happens as far as any consequences you got to deal with, and that's another thing. Some people, another thing that when it comes to taking accountability, some people aren't used to that. When there are no consequences for their actions, or they escape them, or like the consequences just aren't applied, then that's a lot of time. That's what you find with a lot of people. You find that a lot of people that have issues with taking accountability, like the consequences to their actions, either they really didn't see any, whether it be in school or growing up, whatever, or they were always absolved of it. They were always like, it's not your fault, blah blah blah. No, it's them. Somebody or a group of people telling them basically what they want to hear, and like nothing is ever their fault. You feel me? Like, I don't know if you guys heard about that. It's just a couple months back. It was a situation with the kid that this girl thought this dude was stealing her cell phone, and she was like, I think she grabbed him or something like that. I'm sure you guys remember the story, but yeah, essentially, I think he didn't have the cell phone or something like that, but she swore up and down that he stole it, and then she was jumped on his son or something, and I guess he pushed her off him or something like that. And if you see the interview, I forgot who interviewed. Yeah, I forgot who interviewed her, but yeah, you can just, if you do a little Google research, you can find it. The interview, person interviewing her, she was just, but you could tell I mean, the mom didn't hold her accountable for the stuff that she probably did in her past, and she probably got the idea that, oh, this is how the world works. The world's going to treat me like that. And then when it doesn't, then it's like a reality shock. It's like a reality check, but it's like a shock. And then first place of the. Anyway, I would say that, if I had the video, I would just pull it up and show you guys. But YouTube's acting weird right now, and I don't think my computer can handle that current. So, yeah, man, if you guys find that video, that's a perfect example of exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah. So essentially, you're living your own life. You're the one that's got to deal with all the sorrows and the joys of it. So why make more hard times, or why make life harder on yourself when you're the one that's going to have to deal with it, considering that you deal with the consequences of that? I mean, everybody doesn't got it like that, where they can just kind of, get off scot-free. But some people do, they have problems with accountability, et cetera, et cetera. But for a lot of people, you gotta remember, bro, unless you got some type of wealth privilege or something like that, nah. It's different for us. Different set of rules. And we're definitely held accountable. even breaking it down even further into other groups. Regardless, just remember that you have to hold yourself accountable, because usually that's what other people are going to do. And if you don't do it yourself, it's going to show. They're going to be people are going to be able to smell it like a bad cologne. Anybody that can just be around you and just see how you're acting, or how you're absolved of realizing, hey, you did something wrong. Now, that's not to say, right? That's not to say that because someone said you did something wrong, that you did something wrong. No, we all have it. I don't care what people want to say. We all usually have a genuine idea of things you just don't do to someone else, things that you don't do, things that you should take care of, or things that you probably shouldn't do to yourself, or hell, I would even say for yourself. You know, it could be something that you want to spend money on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You got $100 extra spending money, and you want to buy something that's like $90. So everything's paid for, but now the rest of your extra spending money, you got $10 to last you till next paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's a consequence of your actions. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be held accountable for that regardless. So, not to get too off on a tangent, but I mean, it's something like, this is a subject that I definitely have learned throughout life, all the places I've been and things that I've done so far. You know, like, it's one of those things, especially when the majority of people that you know will refuse to throw you bail, even like, even if, right, even if you like they'll throw someone else bail, but because it's specifically you, it's a whole different story. It could be the same thing that you did, right? Same thing that you said or whatever, but it's because it's you don't get no bail. And then you know, people can get personal feelings get into that, and I mean, they want to do that, that's fine, but at the end of the day, it's just, that's corny, bro. Like, so to go back into what I was saying about, like, when you do wrong things, you got to remember, this isn't to say that if anything that someone says that you do is wrong, you automatically have to bow your head and apologize. That's not what I'm saying. We all have a general idea of things that you don't do. However, there are some people that will try to shame you into feeling bad for certain things that you probably shouldn't feel bad for, you know, but just because they say so, and then if you don't adhere to that, you're the bad guy, they attack your character, it is what it is, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've experienced that a lot too. So you got to be mindful, and you got to be able to, like, basically delineate between what is something that you really messed up on and what is something that you did that just bothered somebody. You got to be able to delineate, like, distinguish the two different things, because they're not the same. But people will try to have you believe that they're the same just so they can get over, or just so they can feel empowered, or they could just be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so I won that argument, I won that discussion, or I just made you feel some type of way, and that's what I wanted to do because I don't like you. It could be a multitude of things. But yeah, just make sure you distinguish the difference between the two of those things. And by the way, guys, once again, make sure you click that like button. Please hit that share button, and please subscribe. Once again, really need you guys to get those subscriptions up, especially if you enjoy the content. Right, trying to build something over here, and I definitely would appreciate your guys' help and support. So, moving on with the show. Or matter of fact, no, I think I covered, even with the rant and all, I covered every bit of notes that I had. So, yeah, with that being said, guys, and this is how we're going to close the show out. I would say, that's good right there. I would say, understand, in closing, I would say understand that there are things that you have to be honest with yourself about and understand that you might have messed up on or have done wrong. Or flip it, things that you should have done, or, you know, maybe you wronged someone, pushed them, took something from them, anything like that. It's important to understand that whether you like it or not, if you're the cause of something, and you again starts number one, for anything else, it starts with being able to admit that you were wrong about something, or you did something wrong. And then after that, be able to tell yourself, like, you know, yeah, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have did that, or I should have did that, or I should have said that. And make sure that once you understand that you are the cause of a situation, or the cause of something to not happen, then go from there and try to fix it if it can be fixed. And if not, understand that you will have to deal with the consequences of those actions or inactions. Because no one's gonna have to. I mean, I won't say that no one's gonna have to deal with them, but you. In certain situations, sure, but then in other situations, other people have to deal with your consequences, like the consequences to your actions or inactions. You know. But just because you don't like that you messed up on something does not mean that, like, you get to ignore it and not either try to fix it or try to just move forward. As long as you're not lying to yourself and you're being honest with yourself, you'll always be able to hold yourself accountable, because that's where it starts. That's the root of it. So that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that anyone that's watching after the live stream definitely finds this useful and enjoys the content. You know, click that like button, hit that bell, make sure y'all subscribe. Please share the video if you guys enjoy this episode or any of the other episodes that I have done that will be in this playlist. Until next time, guys, hope you guys have a peaceful, prosperous, and productive day tomorrow, and I will see you guys later. Peace.